The sun beat down on the cracked asphalt of Route 29, a rural stretch cutting through Georgia's pine forests. Lieutenant General Clara Thompson, a three-star officer with 27 years of service, lay face down, her wrist raw from handcuffs biting into her skin. Blood trickled, staining her crisp blouse. At 58, she was one of the Pentagon's most respected leaders, yet here she was, detained like a common suspect in a small town she'd once called home. How had it come to this? A routine drive to see her dying mother had spiraled into a confrontation that would shake a community, expose deep-seated biases, and spark a national reckoning. This is the story of Clara's fight not for revenge, but for justice that would protect the powerless. Clara Thompson never set out to make history. Born in 1967 in Savannah's segregated neighborhoods, she grew up in the shadow of the civil rights movement. Her father, Henry, a Vietnam veteran with a Purple Heart, faced the bitter irony of fighting for a nation that treated him as less. At 8, Clara watched police drag him from their car during a traffic stop, claiming he matched a suspect. His military ID meant nothing. Handcuffed on the sidewalk, Henry endured neighbors' stares while Clara's mother, Margaret, a schoolteacher, fought for his release with attorneys and their pastor. That night, Clara overheard her father's broken voice. "They can take everything, Margaret, except your mind and heart." The injustice ignited Clara's resolve to fix the system from within. Despite her parents' fears, Clara's brilliance earned her a West Point nomination. In 1984, she arrived as one of 27 black women in a class of 1,200. The academy tested her intellect, body, and spirit. Classmates whispered about affirmative action. Instructors dismissed her strategies, only to praise them from white cadets. Clara graduated third in academics, fifth in leadership, silencing doubters. Commissioned in 1988, she lost her father to lung cancer months later, his final words urging her to make it mean something. Clara's career soared. In Desert Storm, she led a logistics unit under fire, earning a Bronze Star. In Afghanistan, her analysis saved 327 lives, catching General Robert Marshall's eye. By 2012, she was a brigadier general, one of the few black women at that rank. Her marriage to Major David Ellis ended after a decade, strained by deployments. By 2022, as a three-star general leading Pentagon intelligence, Clara was a force. When her mother's heart failure worsened, she drove her Mercedes from D.C. to Savannah, choosing rural roads to reconnect with her past. She didn't know a routine stop would test her like never before. Officer Laura Bennett, 42, patrolled Route 29 that sweltering August day. Raised in Pinewood County, Laura grew up in a trailer on land her segregationist grandfather bought. Her father's subtle biases rumbling about those people getting handouts shaped her. After a failed marriage and dead-end jobs, Laura joined the police at 26, craving authority. Her career was a cycle of adequate work, clashes with diverse colleagues, and transfers. In Pinewood's small department, she found a fit. Black drivers faced her scrutiny disproportionately, were searched 62% of the time versus 17% for whites. Complaints rarely stuck. Supervisors backed her discretion. That morning, a review questioning her stop patterns left her seething, ready to assert control. When Clara's Mercedes appeared, Laura followed, inventing a reason to pull her over. Clara, trained in civilian encounters, stayed calm, hands on the wheel, documents ready. Laura claimed Clara was weaving a lie. When Clara presented her military ID, Laura scoffed. "Lieutenant General." "Sure." Accusing impairment, she handcuffed Clara tightly, ignoring her request to call the Pentagon. A search of the car found nothing, but Laura impounded it, mocking Clara's rank. Bystanders recorded their videos soon went viral. In the patrol car, Clara cataloged details: time, location, Laura's badge number, her military discipline unshaken. At Pinewood Station, the mood shifted. Sergeant Paul Carter, seeing Clara's credentials, ordered the cuffs removed. Clara called the Pentagon's emergency line, briefing Vice Chief of Staff Michael Reynolds. Within hours, Colonel Sarah Rivera, a JAG officer, arrived by helicopter. Chief Thomas Reed, rushing from his day off, apologized profusely. Laura, isolated, faced administrative leave as her record revealed a pattern of biased stops. Viral videos hit 2 million views, drawing media and the governor's attention. Clara, refusing a military escort, addressed the officers. "This is bigger than one person. Your response will define whether this is a failure or a chance for change." Clara reached her mother's Savannah home that night. Margaret, 82, gripped her hand, lamenting, "All those stars, and they still see your skin. Clara promised accountability. The incident exploded nationally. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation probed Pinewood, finding black drivers were 4 times more likely to be stopped. Laura's termination hearing exposed damning texts, including one sent before Clara's stop. Another fancy car with DC plates. Bet it's one of those types. Convicted of civil rights violations, Laura received 18 months, her career and life in ruins. Pinewood transformed. A civilian review board, mandatory bias training, and camera enforcement reshaped the department. Officer James Harper, uneasy during Clara's stop, led reforms. The state passed the Accountability Act, mandating the stop of data transparency. Clara, promoted to 4-star general, joined the Joint Chiefs, institutionalizing her Thompson protocols for service members facing civilian police. She partnered with civil rights groups, bridging military and civilian reform. A year later, the Margaret Thompson Community Justice Center opened, replacing the old station. At the dedication, Clara spoke. This belongs to everyone who turned pain into progress. Justice must not depend on rank. Margaret cut the ribbon, a symbol of progress from segregation's shadow. Laura, released early for restorative justice work, attended quietly. Approaching Clara, she said, "I'm using my mistakes to teach others. It's too late to undo, but maybe it helps." Clara replied, "Accountability looks forward. Keep shaping change." That evening, Clara and Margaret visited Henry's grave. Margaret said, "Your father would be proud not just of the stars, but your dignity." Clara, appointed to the Joint Chiefs, returned to D.C., her influence ensuring reforms endured. Pinewood's new officers, including a young black woman once warned against the county, patrolled under transformed rules. Laura taught at the academy, her story a cautionary lesson. The system wasn't perfect, but it was better, protecting travelers without stars. What does accountability mean to you? Have you faced or witnessed injustice, racial or otherwise? Share your story in the comments. Do you believe in transformative justice, like Clara's approach, or stricter punishment? Your voice matters. Speak up to keep this conversation alive and push for a society where no one's judged by their skin or status.